Hey guys, who remembers me on here about 2 weeks ago, and I was talking about the importance of play, and it was my acronym that I used. I had P for positive. So that's the P was positive, L was love yourself, A act now, and Y say yes to opportunities. So today I wanted to talk about the P, the play. Come on, come on. Midgie wants to make a debut on YouTube as well. So, positive. Surround yourself with positive. Who can not be positive when you have a puppy around that you love? So, I was reminded of this yesterday in two ways. I had my mom she's having her hip operation, her hip replacement on December the 13th. So, all the prep work for that needs to be done now. So I had her for her lab work and her pre-op x-ray yesterday. And it was very interesting because I was reminded the first way of positivity just being around my mom. Now, my mom, if anyone knows her, has always been a positive influence and a role model in our lives growing up and the lives of absolutely everyone and anyone that she comes into contact with. My mom is the epitome of what it means to be positive. And as a teenager, I will admit that it got on my nerves. It drove me nuts. I was like, can you not just for once complain about something, because your life is far from perfect? And she never ever did. Like, my mom was never a complainer, and I was. As a teenager, I was a huge complainer and a whiner. And I mean, let's be honest, what self-absorbed teenager isn't? Because that's just a stage that you go through as being a rebellious teenager, I think, to some extent. So of course I was. Now these days I find myself being my mom, which does not bother me one bit. The more I can be like my mom, the better. So that was how I was reminded of it in the first way. And then the second way, it was because of a negative experience that I had when I had taken my mom up to the desk at the lab. The woman behind the desk, a lab tech herself, she was clearly miserable. I don't know if she didn't like her job or she was having a bad day or what the issue was. Step back, please, was the initial response when I had stepped up to the desk when there was no one in front of us. Okay, 5 seconds later, come ahead. In this miserable tone of voice, and it was crazy. And then I watched her as she gave the same negative service and interaction to everyone that came up to the desk. And it was just an example of what I don't want to be, and I want to be more like my mom. Now, had I been a teenager in that instance, I probably would, whatever. So I just want you to encourage everybody to be positive today, and that's my take for a Friday. So it's easy to do on a Friday, I think. TGIF. So Murray's got Mondays. I know everybody else has got another day of the week. How about Fridays with Tracy? TGIF with Tracy. I like it. I like it. So what I want to encourage everyone to do today is to do the P in play. Get out there and play for sure. And be positive. Even if that only means giving someone a smile that you run into today, sometimes that smile can make the difference in their entire day going forward. And I will also give you an example of that. Yesterday, after our experience at the lab, I watched this same lady, treat another patient that had come up to the desk the same way, and she was clearly hard of hearing. Step back, please. And she told her that she would need her photo ID and her Alberta Healthcare card. So she started peeling it out and like, not now, take a seat. They'll need it when they call you. I was like, okay, she didn't hear you. She didn't understand. Would it have been so difficult for you to actually have just been positive in this woman's life and smile at her? I could not believe the way she was being treated. So afterwards, she actually was out in the lobby afterwards, and I went up to her, put my hand on her knee, and said, I'm sorry that was treatment that you got. We got the same. I hope you have a nice day from now on going forward. So it was that easy. It only took 2 seconds of my time, and hopefully with any luck at all, it made that woman's day better after her poor experience at the lab yesterday. Anyways, that's what I want you guys to do today too. Have a great Friday, TGIF, enjoy the weekend, get out and play.